Welcome back. Well, here we are in February, and the emeritus classes are going to be beginning, and a lot is going on at the colleges of the South Orange County Community College District. I have one of the trustees on today. Good to have back TJ Prendergast. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be back.
Let me, Prendergast.
Correct.
I apologize.
It is phonetic.
I put an extra R on. Good to have you here. It's been a while since we had one of you folks on because of the holidays.
Sure.
And here we are, sort of the new year for you guys. You're starting, you got a class going on today in a little while, right?
Right.
Well, we were sent some slides, and we're going to go through those. I looked over them. A lot is going on, as always. First of all, even though you are a trustee at large, so to speak, you guys do represent a certain area, and you're over at Area 2, but as I've been told by all the other trustees, you really just all work together, right?
Correct. You have to serve in a certain area, but as an at-large candidate, when it's time to run, you do have to reach out to the constituency from all over the South Orange County District. So it's a large area, so that's why they divide it up, so that local entities or local people from the public can come and talk to you and say, hey, this is what we'd like to see.
Yeah.
You know, there's a tendency, since I'm closer to Irvine Valley College, for people to, in that area, will say, hey, we'd like this, we'd like that.
And it works out.
But as a board, you know, we're one voice of 7, so you have to let them know, I'll see what I can do, but
exactly.
I can't promise anything.
And as I just alluded to, you got a class going on pretty soon. You teach as well.
Correct. I teach American government and an online geography course, and I coach swimming and keep busy. But this is the start of the new semester, so we got
it is, and as we put down here, it's also the spring semester for our emeritus program as well, right?
Correct. All the colleges started back up out of the winter break, and all the programs are going, and the emeritus program, of course, is near and dear to all of us, and we love to keep it going.
Yeah, it's been going on, what is it now? How many years? It's 30 years?
It's before my time on the board.
40 years. It's been a long time. And a lot, you've got some nice guest lecture series going on here. And one of them is just in a couple days from now, the Honorable James Gray, and he's going to talk about drug laws and how they have failed. And I know this gentleman, he's spoken here before. I know his name quite well.
Yeah, there's a number of issues with the drug laws, not only for illegal drugs, but now there's a lot of concern. State Senator Mimi Walters, now Congresswoman, has brought up the idea of the prescription drug abuse and those concerns, and so now they're having to look at, you know, how to deal with that.
Yes.
But how have the illegal drug laws been a problem is what he'll be speaking to.
Yeah, and then after that, of course, we know Don Wagner, who is now an assemblyman, but we know him quite well, right?
And he'll be running for state senate, so he's up for election in March. Special election.
A special election. All right, very good. And then finally, this month, Steve Moeller, flourishing in retirement. That certainly suits this community.
Sure, certainly, and the idea, the concept that, you know, even on a fixed income for so many, that you can stretch those dollars and do well. That'll
be some great lectures, and those things they're open to everyone. You don't have to be in one of the emeritus classes, and you can see they're right here. Clubhouse 3, you can't beat it, these great guest lectures that come in. And Irvine Valley College, your emeritus institutes. Now, you have stuff for kids as well over there?
Correct. They have a very active program schedule for the community, for all ages to come and take part.
That's great. I didn't realize that. Art for kids, very, very important to get kids involved in the arts in general, whether it's drawing or painting or musical arts, graphic arts, whatever it may be. We often see kids that maybe math isn't their thing. They got to take that. They got to take the math. They got to take everything else. But when they get into the creative arts, they just flourish, and they kind of find themselves at any age, really.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, with the budget cuts that we're hitting all of the K through 14 system. The arts were some of the first to go.
Yeah.
Both music and actual drawing and choral and all of that. And it is really important to have those available to those students that aren't able to get them in their regular education program, because between the budgets and the focus on testing and math and reading, all sorts of things have been science, social studies, my thing.
Yeah.
And it's tough to recover all that when they don't have exposure to it.
It really is. And nowadays, a lot of the districts, what they do, they have these special after-school kind of programs, but they're not cheap. They can be $150 for a certain art program or something, and they're very good programs, but a lot of people don't have the funds to be able to do that, or maybe the extra time to do it. So it's great that this is offered. All right, we're going to talk about the California budget. We're in the new fiscal year here, calendar year and fiscal year. What's the outlook for the emeritus programs and community colleges in general? There's been a lot of talk about community colleges.
Right. I would say in general, it's one of those good news, bad news. The funds are up. The state budget is very healthy. The voters passed Proposition 30 and agreed to not let the sales tax go from 8.25 down to 7.75 and keep it at 8. So they took a 0.25% increase, so to speak, on their taxes, but it really only went down 0.25% because it was already up. And they agreed to do some other things with taxes that I guess fortunately for the state gave more money that could go to education, which is what that proposition promised it would do. And then the bad news, I guess, is that it does expire. It is a temporary, it was a 7-year fix.
Okay.
And so that is due to expire in 2016. And we have all the community colleges and the K through 12s as well, and even the UCs and the Cal States are hoping to recover some of their losses during the hard times, but know that maybe it could come back.
You're right.
When those taxes expire, if there isn't something that extends them, and it would be hard to say that the voters would be willing to do that again unless they see the benefits of it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Federal update. Again, in the news, we've talked about President Obama's plan, which is, on the outset, okay, that's a great plan, but with all plans, there's a lot of money involved, and also the fact that community colleges are done by state, not by the federal government.
Correct, and I think from our perspective as the board, the highlight on the importance of community colleges is really special to us. We really appreciate that highlight and making it a national issue. But as you mentioned, it's unfortunate that the plan involves half the money coming from the federal and half the money coming from the state. Well, if a state can't afford that, if they're having economic hard times, then the student isn't going to be able to get free. Yeah. They get half of it, which is still good. It's not bad. But that even if it were to pass at the federal level, which we're not sure that it will, with the adversity that's been going on in D.C., even if it were to pass, it would be difficult to implement it in some states, and California might be one of them.
And you'd get to the point where maybe states that had a little bit more in their budget would be asked to shuttle money over to another state for their program, and then you got all kinds of problems, as we've seen. Yeah. We got about a minute left. Let's go over some of the great events. Saddleback College, we certainly know about the fantastic jazz program and the musical programs in general there, but the jazz programs are just absolutely wonderful. Of course, you have your jazz station down there, KSBR. But coming up this Saturday, you've got Jazz Day.
Yes, yeah, it's an exciting event. I unfortunately can't make it, but they do put this on, and it's very well attended year after year.
Yeah, they do a very good job. McKinney Theater, absolutely beautiful. We did a piece down there for your holiday show, and it is really nice. Absolutely wonderful program and great instructors down there. And then Into the Shade art exhibitions going on, drawings by UG, and this is February 23rd through March 19th, and this is at the gallery, so it's just open. People can go during the open hours here and and enjoy some beautiful art.
Absolutely, and you know, the key there is that it is free.
Yes.
You can go in and see some very interesting pieces that this artist has put together.
Yeah, and don't forget, you may not attend Saddleback or anything like that, but you can go down and enjoy the art programs, the galleries, the musical theater. It's open to everyone. Irvine Valley College, up more your neck of the woods, and they're having a musical scholarship benefits recital coming up on Friday at
Yes,
Performing Arts.
And this one does cost money, but it's
Yes.
still worth attending.
Yeah.
It's, and again, it is open to the public, and the benefits of it are not only do you get a good show, but it's a fundraiser for the music program.
Yeah, it definitely is. And along with that, you have a guest artist piano benefit coming up, and that is the 20th of February. Again, another great show, and it benefits the programs there.
Right, and anytime we have guest artists come in, it's always exciting because, you know, it shows what can be accomplished if you really stick to what your passion is.
Yeah, exactly. I want to thank you for coming on today. He has to run off because, as we just said, he teaches. He's got a class to teach, and it's the start of that semester, so he can't miss the first class. TJ, thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure to see you. And you're not on the schedule again till, well, not till about July.
Yeah.
So we won't see you till then. I think there's a couple open dates we got here, so maybe they'll shove you in there.
Right.
So we'll see. Good to see you again.
Good
You
to
take
see
care.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back. I guess so.